Okay, imagine this scenario.
Yeah.
You pick up your phone, right? And the person on the line says they're from, say, the CBI, a major agency, and you are under digital arrest. It just sounds, well, it sounds like something from a dystopian thriller, doesn't it?
It really does. A bit sci-fi even.
But what if I told you this isn't fiction? It's actually a terrifyingly real cybercrime tactic.
Yeah.
It's sophisticated, and it's designed purely to confuse you, scare you, and exploit you.
Yeah, completely disorienting.
So today we're doing a deep dive into a really unsettling case. It happened in Varanasi, India, where this exact tactic, this digital arrest, was used.
Okay.
Our sources are basically key parts of a news report. It lays out how the Varanasi Police painstakingly managed to crack down on one of these pretty insidious scams.
Right.
And our mission here really is to pull out the crucial bits of information from this case. We want to understand the mechanics, how this fraud actually works, and maybe most importantly, figure out the key takeaways for your own safety online.
Which is critical these days.
Absolutely. So here's the question to keep in mind as we go. How do these criminals manage to use something like fear, mix it with technology, and manipulate people into giving away huge, life-changing amounts of money?
It's a fascinating and, frankly, scary question. It really gets to the heart of our digital vulnerabilities. And this Varanasi case, well, it gives us a stark look at how effective these psychological games can be.
Okay, let's get into the story itself then. It starts with one person, Mahesh Prasad. He lives in Lathia, Varanasi. He gets a call. Fraudsters, but they're pretending, very convincingly, to be officers from the CBI India's Central Bureau of Investigation and also local police.
So big names, high authority figures.
Exactly. Designed to intimidate. And the claim they hit him with, that his identity, his name, was somehow misused in this massive money laundering case. We're talking euro 38 crore.
Wow. Okay, just hearing that number connected to your name.
Right. Imagine getting that call completely out of the blue. What does that even do to your head?
Well, what's immediately clear is the pressure. It's immense, overwhelming. It's designed, really, to just shut down your ability to think clearly.
Yeah, pure panic mode.
Exactly. And under that kind of pressure, Mahesh Prasad was manipulated. He ended up transferring a huge sum, 1.0 crore, from his bank accounts.
1.1 crore rupees. That's staggering.
It is. And the reason they gave him, the justification for these massive transfers, it was all supposedly for investigation purposes.
Ah, the classic hook.
Yeah, they convince you it's the only way to clear your name, playing on that initial shock and fear.
So how did they actually pull off this digital illusion? Because it wasn't just a phone call, was it?
No, not at all. The sources show they started with some, let's say, classic deception tactics, sure, but then they layered on some serious tech.
Like what?
Well, first, spoofed phone numbers. That means they made the caller ID on his phone show what looked like legitimate government or police numbers.
Okay, so even if you try to quick check, it looks real.
Precisely. Then they backed that up with fake documents, apparently quite convincing ones, adding another layer of, official-looking proof to their story.
Man, that's already quite elaborate.
But here's where it gets really sophisticated and psychologically very manipulative. They went beyond just calls and papers. They actually used apps and fake interfaces.
Apps?
Yeah, apps or some kind of online portal to show the victim these virtual dashboards.
Virtual dashboard? What does that even mean?
Imagine seeing a screen that looks like, an official system, supposedly showing the investigation against you happening in real time. Or sometimes, in other scams like this, they might show fake investment returns.
Wow. So it's visual proof.
Exactly. That visual element creates this incredibly powerful illusion. It feels official, it feels credible, and it makes it almost impossible for the victim in that state of panic to see it's all fake. They're pulling you into their fabricated digital world.
That is terrifyingly convincing. So once they've got you hooked with this fake reality, the next step is getting the money. And that part, it sounds like, was just as complex.
Oh, yeah. This wasn't some small local thing. It was a multi-state operation. The police use a great term for it. Bank account mules.
Bank account mules.
Yeah. Essentially, they convince people, often unwitting individuals, just regular folks, to open bank accounts. But then the criminals take a complete control of their banking kits.
And by kit, you mean everything. Checkbooks, cards.
Everything. Checkbooks, ATM cards, passbooks, online access maybe. They get full control.
Okay, I see.
And these accounts, now fully controlled by the criminals, become the pipeline. They use them to launder the money they steal from victims like Mahesh.
It gets wider, doesn't it? There were international links mentioned.
Yes, that's another really concerning aspect. It points to the scale here. The report mentions collaboration with overseas cybercriminals.
So it's a global network.
Seems like it. The money, once scammed, gets bounced around through several of these mule accounts. Then it's converted into foreign currency and quickly wired out to handlers abroad. It makes tracing it incredibly difficult for law enforcement.
A really complex financial web they weave. But thankfully, the story doesn't end there. The Varanasi cybercrime unit, they fought back.
They did. They launched a pretty swift and effective counterattack.
Yeah, the report details a successful operation where they arrested 3 key people. Sumit Gupta, who's 35, from Gorakhpur. Utkarsh Verma, also 35, from Lakhimpur Kheri. And Arvind Verma, 37, from Gautam Budh Nagar.
Right. And significantly, these guys weren't new to this.
No, the report mentioned they had prior arrests. Other cybercrime cases in places like Noida and Lucknow. It really shows a pattern, doesn't it? These aren't one-off mistakes.
Absolutely. It suggests a more organized, persistent criminal activity. And the police didn't just arrest them, they seized quite a bit of evidence, too.
What kind of thing?
Well, the list included 8 mobile phones, quite expensive ones, apparently worth 3,13,000 SIM cards, 7 ATM cards, a checkbook, 4 passbooks, and around $70,000 in cash.
Okay, so phones, SIMs, bank stuff, the tools of the trade, basically.
Exactly. These items aren't just random. They're crucial for investigators to piece together how the scam worked, who else was involved, and maybe trace more of that money trail.
And the legal side. They threw the book at them, it seems.
They used serious charges. The report mentions sections of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the BNS, specifically 318.2 and 318.4, plus relevant sections of the IT Act, like 66D.
What do those cover, roughly?
Broadly speaking, they deal with things like cheating by impersonation, using computer resources for fraud, essentially the core elements of this digital arrest scam. It ensures they face proper charges for this kind of complex online deception.
Good. And it's worth mentioning the team behind this, right? The report credits the cyber officers led by Assistant Police Commissioner Vijay Pratap Singh.
Yes, working under the guidance of Commissioner Mohan Agrawal and DCP Saravan NT, it highlights the dedicated effort required to tackle these kinds of crimes.
Definitely. And it sounds like the work isn't finished yet.
No, not at all. That complexity we talked about, it means the investigation is ongoing. Authorities are actively trying to trace those international links, the overseas handlers.
They're trying to follow the money and connections abroad.
Exactly. And they're also looking for other gang members within India and trying to identify more victims across different states. This single case could just be the tip of the iceberg.
Which brings us back to the bigger picture. What does this whole deep dive really mean for you listening?
Well, this Varanasi case, shocking as it is, isn't some freak occurrence. It's a really potent example of this growing and pretty alarming trend. Cybercriminals are getting incredibly good at using our basic fears, fear of authority, fear of legal trouble, and combining that with tech to extort money.
They're getting smarter, more convincing. The tech side, like those dashboards, is becoming way more sophisticated.
Definitely. And that's precisely why the police advice here is so vital. They're urging everyone, stay alert, verify any threatening calls you get, especially if they start demanding immediate payments or asking for sensitive info.
Because they rely on that panic, right? They want you to react instantly without thinking.
Exactly. Their whole strategy is often built around creating urgency and preventing you from thinking clearly or calling someone else or checking an official website.
Yeah.
They want to keep you isolated in that fear bubble.
So that skepticism we sometimes feel guilty about. In this digital age, it's not just a good idea. It's like it's your primary shield.
Couldn't have put it better.
Yeah.
When you get one of these official-sounding threats, these demands for money, especially if it feels high pressure, designed to make you panic.
Yeah.
Immediate, independent verification is essential. Absolutely critical. Hang up. Don't engage further on that call. Find the official number yourself from their actual website, not a number the caller gives you, and call them directly.
Don't trust the incoming call. Verify outbound.
Precisely. They thrive on that immediate, unverified reaction. Taking that moment to step back and check is everything.
Yeah. This whole deep dive into the digital arrest really shows the lengths these criminals go to. Spoofed calls, fake documents, those creepy virtual dashboards, the complex money laundering.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is. And as we rely more and more on digital systems for, well, everything, our money, our identity being vigilant isn't just optional anymore. It's a necessity.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? In this world where everything's online, our identities, our finances, How do we actually protect ourselves, both as individuals and, as a society? How do we stay ahead of these constantly evolving tactics, these psychological games like the digital arrest?
That's the big question, isn't it? Something critical for all of us to keep considering as we live more of our lives online.